You're wasting time and money if you're not doing this in your conference exhibit booths.
Custom videos can be a great way to prospect, but could they also help you close more business this quarter?
And why buyers being busy during the holidays is actually a good thing for your prospecting and closing deals.
We guarantee we'll talk about nothing else this week on Full Funnel.
Hey everybody, I'm Raj Nation, he's Tyler Lessard, and welcome back to Full Funnel, the weekly show that college students happen to stumble across when they're looking for YouTube tutorials of beer bong assembly. Full Funnel is the only place where you can get 3 hot takes on topics happening in the world of sales in under 10 minutes, all to help you go out, show out, and fill up your funnel. Let's dive in with today's top funnel topic. Conferences and live events are back, sort of. In recent weeks on this show, we've covered Dreamforce and SaaStr, and as we head into the end of 2021, we're seeing a whole slate of events lined up for the new year. And with conferences comes, of course, the exhibit sessions. And exhibit sessions are where a whole host of companies plop down a bunch of money, they send a few reps to go represent their company, and they waste a bunch of their reps' time and they waste all that money on having a table. And why is that? Well, it's because if you walk the conference exhibit floor, you'll see tons of disinterested reps. You'll see people on their phones, almost not even wanting someone to approach them and kind of being scared when they do. And if you want to have success in these events, you've got to totally reframe how you're approaching them. And that means being the person who invites others in who are walking the showroom floor. You want to have that magnetizing personality. When you see someone who's within 10 feet, you want to say, hey, come on in, let's have a conversation. And you can be joking about it. You could kind of act like you're a carnival person, be like, hurry, hurry, step right up. But you want to be the person who invites them in, because it's not their job to talk to you automatically. It's your job to give them a reason to talk to you, which is also why you want to make sure you have a very crisp, clean pitch you're able to deliver over and over and over again. Tyler, what have you seen work well?
Well, Raj, I think before you even give your pitch, it's super important to ask the right questions to create a conversation and to get that prospect to lean in instead of lean back. For example, Raj, could we quickly role play, and maybe I'll do a bit of a role reversal and pretend I'm working the Startup Hype Man booth. Would you mind coming up and asking me what we do?
Hi, what do you do at Startup Hype Man?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Raj, it says on your badge there. I've been waiting for you all day to come on over here. But first, would you mind if I asked you a question?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
How many employees are in your business?
We have about 75.
Oh, good sized company. And what's your role in your organization, Raj?
I am the head of sales.
Perfect. And your astrology sign, am I picking up a Sagittarius vibe here?
Yeah, you are.
Well, perfect. Now, let me answer your question. Thank you for answering mine. And I'll explain a little bit more about what we do. We can pause there. Now, the reason that I've done this is to, first of all, get you to lean into the conversation. Secondly, to create a curiosity gap in your mind. I've asked questions that you now need to get resolved. Particularly, why did I ask you if you were a Sagittarius? And finally, this allows me to personalize my pitch. Now that I know you are a company of a certain size and you're in a certain role, I can deliver that perfect pitch, but through the lens of what's going to matter to you the most. So be ready to ask those questions. Don't wing it. Go into the event knowing those questions you're going to ask to prompt the right conversation. New research from Demand Metrics shows that 72% of sales reps who are using video for prospecting report higher response rates. Meanwhile, roughly half of those salespeople report faster deal cycles and higher close rates when using video throughout the rest of the deal cycle. Now, what are these intrepid sellers doing beyond just prospecting with video? Well, they're sending and recording custom video messages before and after a meeting to walk through a product feature, to address objections or answer a question. They're even making videos to walk through their sales proposal to explain key line items in their own voice for when that gets shared around with other decision makers beyond their champion. So if you're looking for a new way to, well, book some more meetings or close some more business in Q4, it might be worth taking a look at video. Raj, tell us from your own experience, where do you see the opportunity to use video in the quarter and the year ahead?
One of the areas that I rely on video personally, and also the clients that I work with Startup Hype Man, when we're working with sales teams, I'll tell them this as well. Do you know what you should never do is record your discovery call and then say, I'll send you the recording to this call afterwards. You know why? Because no one in their right mind is going to watch a 40-minute recording of a meeting, especially if they weren't even in the meeting in the first place. So what I'll tell them to do and what I'll do myself, if they say, hey, we have someone else who needs to take a look at this, is I'll say, okay, record a 60-second or a 2-minute vidyard of yourself just explaining a recap of what happened in the meeting and giving that other person another action item to follow up on. That's how you're going to actually get them to watch the content that you've recorded, not a 40-minute meeting recorded, and you have a way to generate some rapport without ever having met them. Plus, you're able to easily create some low-touch homework assignment to get them involved in the sales process and accelerate your deal. The holidays are fast approaching, believe it or not, which means peppermint mochas, family gatherings, Tyler's ugly sweaters, and your prospects being too busy to make any decisions. I'm here to tell you that the holidays can actually be a really good thing if you're a seller. First, on the prospecting front, the biggest area I see where sellers go wrong is they will end an email by saying, I know you're probably really busy this time of year, but it would still be great to get 15 minutes on your calendar. And in effect, what that's saying is, you're busy, I don't care, I still have a need. So you've got to reframe your approach. How can you phrase it and make a case so that even though they're busy, it actually makes even more sense to make your thing a priority for them? And then for those who are already in your funnel, and maybe you're worried that they're gonna punt decisions to after the new year when things calm down, so to speak, which in reality, they never really do calm down. You wanna make a case for why it's a better idea to do things now. So Tyler, would you say you're the type of person who likes to start the new year feeling behind or who likes to start the new year ahead?
Well, I like to start feeling ahead, Raj.
Me too. And as sellers, that's the sentiment you can convey to your buyer. Because if they're thinking about moving your decision into next year or later, you want to be able to convey to them that, hey, I know you're really busy right now. This would make sense to get started during this time while things are already busy. So that way you don't start the new year feeling behind, because nobody wants that. Tyler, what are ways on the buying side, because you've had a lot of purchase decisions in your career around the holidays, as a buyer, how have sellers turned you into a Grinch?
Well, an easy way to turn me into a Grinch is to waste my time and to focus on this past year, which is already wrapping up. So instead, focus your efforts on understanding how their goals or targets might be changing in the year ahead and how your solution can help them fill that gap. We've all been there. We all know when New Year's come, new targets are set, new priorities are out there, but we struggle with how are we going to level ourselves up to get there. So focus on that potential pain point with your prospects and talk about how you can help them hit next year's goals with a new approach to tackling what they're trying to accomplish.
We've reached the end of our funnel. Let's do a quick recap. In Top Funnel, we talked about how to not bomb at your next conference exhibit. For more on how to be a standout in your booth at every live event that you attend, check out my Medium article, linked below.
And in Mid-Funnel, we talked about using video beyond prospecting to help you accelerate deal cycles and even close more business this quarter. For more on that, check out the new research from Demand Metric, which includes some tips to help you sell better with video.
And in Bottom Funnel, we shared how you can make sure that your holiday pipeline stays coal-free. That does it for Full Funnel. Our funnel is full. We hope you can get back out there and fill up yours. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. He's Tyler Lessard. I'm Raj Nation. You have been watching Full Funnel exclusively on SalesFeed. We will see you next time. But remember, until then, consuming raw or undercooked meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and shellfish may increase your risk of foodborne illness. So long, everyone.